Once upon a time there was a cook named Gretel. She wears red sole shoes. Every time she goes out wearing those shoes, she turns around to look at herself, then smiles and says to herself, "Am I a beautiful girl?" Every time she comes back from somewhere, she happily takes a sip of wine. When it comes to wine, she likes to drink it. She chooses the best dish and tastes it until she gets bored. She thought, the chef must taste to see if the cooking is delicious. One time the boss told her, "Gretel, today there are guests coming. Meat 2 chickens and cook them deliciously." Gretel replied, "Boss, I will do that." She caught the chicken, butchered it, poured boiling water, made feathers, skewered the chicken, and then hung it on the stove at dusk. The chicken has turned yellow, somewhat overcooked, but the customer has not yet arrived. At that time, she told the owner, "If the guests Don and number 39 T come, I have to put the chicken down. It would be a pity not to eat it right now, because it and number 39 's best eaten when it and number 39 's hot and soaked with fat." The boss said, "Well, I have to run to pick up the guests." As soon as the owner turned his back to leave, Gretel immediately put down the chicken skewer and thought, "Standing by the fire forever will only make you sweat and thirsty. No, when guests arrive. While we wait, let in number 39's jump down to the wine cellar and have a sip." She ran down, put the jar under the barrel to catch the wine and said, "God bless you, Gretel." Then she took a long, delicious drink. She said again, "The wine must be gulped down in one go. Drinking intermittently will lose its taste." Then she took another long, careful breath. Now she took the chicken skewer and hooked it onto the stove, spread butter on the chicken and happily sat roasting the chicken. Smelling the fragrant aroma of roasting chicken, she thought to herself, "Who knows, maybe I and number 39 am missing something. I and number 39 I'll just have to taste it." Wiping the chicken with her hand and bringing it to her mouth to lick, she said, "Wow, the roasted chicken is delicious." Not eating right away is a waste and a sin. She ran to the window to see if the owner and guests were coming. Not seeing anyone, she went to the pair of roasted chickens and thought, "One wing is burned, it and number 39's better to eat it and eat it." She immediately cut off one wing and ate it all right away. Feeling delicious, she thought, "The other wing must also be cut, otherwise the owner will notice." Finished eating the wings. She went out to look again, but could N and hash 39 T see the boss. She suddenly thought, "Who knows, they didn't and hash 39 T bother to come back. Where did they end up?" She said to herself, "Well, Miss Gretel, everything is well. I made a pair of wings, drank some more wine, and finished eating one. When it and number 39's over, you can rest in peace. Why waste what God gives you?" She ran down to the cellar again, took a sip of wine to refresh herself, and then happily ate the entire chicken. A chicken in the stomach, but the owner has not returned yet. She looked at the other one and said, "Wherever there is the first one, the second one must also be there. They must live in pairs. If the first child is fine, the second child will also be fine. Now it won and number 39 T hurt me to have another shot of wine." And then she took a sip of the aperitif and sent the second chicken running after the other. While he was enjoying his appetite, the owner called, "Hurry up, Gretel, the guests are coming right now." Gretel replied, "Yes, sir. Please move up immediately." Meanwhile, the owner looked to see if the dishes had been put on the table. He took the big knife he used to chop chickens and sharpened it in the hallway. As soon as the guest arrived, he gently knocked on the door and was very polite and courteous. Gretel ran out to see who it was, saw the guest, put her finger to her mouth to signal and said, quietly, "Be careful and run quickly. If my master catches you, it will be unfortunate. My master invited you to dinner, but it was just an excuse to cut off your ears. Just listen to the sound of sharpening a knife in you and number 39, no." The customer heard the sound of sharpening a knife and quickly ran down the stairs. Quick-witted Gretel ran in to find her owner and cried, "Horrible! The guests you invited are so precious. God! Why is that Gretel? What does it mean?" She replied, "Yes, that and number 39. Right. I was carrying the chicken when he came and grabbed 2 roasted chickens and ran away." The owner regretted the delicious roasted chickens and said, "Really good. At least leave one for me to eat." The owner ran out and called after him, but the guests pretended not to hear. With the knife ready and in hand, the owner ran after it and called out, "Just one. Just one." The idea is that customers only need to leave one, Don and number 39. Take both. The customer thought, he just needed to give him one ear to cut off and run like a person on fire to bring the intact ear home. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.